Okay, this is going to be a video about making box gardens. Planter boxes, raised beds, and call it whatever you want. Anyway, these are going to be about 30 inches tall and 5.5 feet long. So anyway, I'm going to show you what I'm using to build them and walk you through the build and show you the finished product. So I've got 2 sheets of 3/4 inch plywood. And I've got 29 6-foot fence boards. And I also have 2 10-foot long 4x4s, which I've already cut up into 30-inch lengths. Now, as you can see, I've pencil marked them for where I'm going to be routering them, and well, you'll see how that works as we get through the build. So that's the basic supply list. There'll be screws, of course, too, and some miscellaneous hardware items, I guess, and then of course stain. So here we go. Okay, here's the router table. You can see I've been routering a little bit already. So I'm going to finish routering those 4x4s on here, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, as you can see, these will be they're going to be the corners of the boxes, and I've finished routing them now. 15 inches down, so halfway. They're 30 inches long, and the depth of the soil in there will be 15 inches. So I routed these down 15 inches on 2 adjoining sides, 3/4 inch wide for the plywood to fit in. So you can sort of figure where this is going now, and we'll pick it up again with the next step after this. Alright, so I've got all the pieces cut now, and we'll just go over it here. So we've got these 4 here. These will be the ends of the 2 boxes. These 4 here will be the sides. Those 2 right there are going to be the inside base. We've got the posts here. You can see that they are routed on the 2 sides so that the sides of the box will slip in there. So there's 8 of those for 2 boxes. I've got 4 2x4s here. These will be the frame portion underneath the 2 bases. Then I've got these 4 and these 4, and they've been routed as well. So you got the short ones here have been routed with tongues, and the long ones have been routed with grooves. And those are going to be the top side face frame. These pieces over here these short ones and the longer ones, those are going to be the framework that goes underneath the top face frame boards. Okay, and these are actually trimmed off of these ones. So you can see right there they've been cut at a 45, and so these 8 here are going to be the lower face frames that wrap around. And I think that's all the pieces for now. So next step is going to be get these all stained up in the appropriate colors, and then we can start assembly. Okay, now I'm going to start gluing a little bit of this together. one. And the other side. Now we're going to take this, I'm going to glue this too. Slip that right into there. Then we'll glue the top side. There we go. And we'll put the other end on, just like that. Okay, so that's one end. I'm going to set this down now and clamp it. Okay, so now we have two clamps clamping this. There, now we have two clamps clamping this together, and this is going to be one of the ends. Now these slots here are going to be for the length of it. Okay, so same thing, I've got two more posts and I've glued them in, the slots. And this is going to be one more end that'll go in, just like that one right there. Alright, so the two ends of one of the boxes, you see here, all clamped up. And these slots will be the sides. So we'll let these dry and cure and go move on to something else. Okay, so now I have glued together the ends of the boxes. So the end boards glued into the slots that are routed out on the treated posts. And they're setting up right now in clamps. And that's time to move on to the next step now. Alright, so now I've had this strapped together overnight. And I'm going to unstrap it. The glue and everything is set and cured up, and I'm going to assemble the second box in the same way, strapping it together, and then move on to some of the trim items. Okay, so I have these 2x4s here, and I've painted them on one side blue to match the posts of the garden beds. And as you can see, I've pre-drilled them so they can be attached in on the underside, because they are going to be the frame supports for the bottom part of the bed itself, for that bottom sheet of plywood. So there you go, that's what they look like. And drilled at both sides, ready for installation. Okay, so now you can see how those 2x4s go in at the bottom. Just like so. And so they're screwed on and fit along the base like this. And there you go. And then the plywood that'll go on the base will just screw right into these. And that's how that'll be secured. And it's starting to rain right now, so I'm going to have to go in. Alright, so the two boxes are together in basic form. We don't have the trim yet put in, installed, or the floor installed yet. The floor of the bed, or the base of the box. But the 2x4s are installed on both of them already. And so the next step is going to be install the floor section of the bed, and then we can move on to installing the trim. Alright, so now I have the floor in, and as you can see I've drilled a few holes in as well for drainage, just a few 3/4 inch holes, and then the same over here. It's installed, the holes are drilled for drainage, and I'm going to move on to the next step now, which is installing some of the exterior trim. Alright, so I brad nailed on the upper trim pieces. They are the angled ones, and the top decorative frame will go on top and then nail into these support strips. And I've done that for both the boxes so far. And before we get to the top frame though, there is some more trim like this that will go on the lower side. So we'll do that next. Then after all the trim pieces are on, then we can look at doing the final few items. Alright, now this is how the lower trim panels are going to fit together. This one goes underneath the box. This one will screw into the post, and they're both cut out of 45, and they will be brad nailed together across the across that edge. And it's only clamped right now, but you can see the detail on it a bit here. I gave it a little round over on the router, trimmed it off. These will line up when it's installed, and then angled it off here on the side. So anyway, that's how it's going to look when it's put together, and now we'll do that. Alright, as you can see, I have the upper trim you saw earlier, and I have the lower side trim panels installed. Right there. Alright, I just want to show you inside the box now. I have these drain holes drilled in here, and I've covered them over with some screen. It's just basic window screen, so that all of the soil and everything doesn't totally rush out the holes. And the bottom of this is going to be covered in with leaves and cardboard and other things anyways, as part of the whole mixture of what goes in here. I mean, it's not just going to be dirt in here. So anyway, just wanted to share that item with you as well. Just screen over the drain holes, glued and stapled down both. Alright, now the lower end trim is on also. And there you see, and the ends on there, I've routed them too with a round over Brad nailed it on, and some screws into the posts, and there it is. Now the last bit to go on is going to be the upper trim, so that's next. Alright, now you can see the top trim is on. So that's it for the installation. That's it for the construction, all of it. I want to decorate the sides yet a little bit with some pictures of vegetables and, you know, some kind of little gardening slogan, something anyways. But yeah, you can see the top trim is on, made out of the fence boards. All the trim pieces are made out of cut fence boards. And the top ones, as I showed you earlier, I ran them through the router so you get a tongue and groove installation on them. So yeah, there you go. That's box number 1 and box number 2. So there they are. They're not in place yet where they're actually going to finally sit. I'll give you a shot of that here yet too. And next step, fill them all up with the growing medium. I want to use a combination of different things. I've got leaves. Currently, I've already got leaves, sawdust, peat moss, some soil, organic soil actually. Paid a little more for it, but I think it'll be all right. And I want to actually get some straw and mix straw in there too, and probably a little bit of pea gravel. So it'll be quite a varied, well drained yet still moisture retaining mix. So I haven't figured out exactly the proportions I'll mix it yet, but that'll be next. So anyway, okay, well, it is the middle of May. It's May 9th, and as you can see, it's snowing. Winter doesn't want to let go. So yeah, we got nice big flakes, snow all over the place. I am finished building the boxes, and as you can see, I've put some catchy little sayings on them, and I put some on the other side too. I'll show you those later. But anyway, I gotta figure out now the ratios that I want to use for mixing up my growing medium, soil and all the rest of it. So just wanted to show you it's May and it's still snowing, so can't plant anything yet. Anyway, more later. Alright, so the boxes are finished now. As you can see, here they are, the two of them. And the top trim is on. All of the side trim is on. And I put my catchy little sayings on there, which I'll show you right away here. And then the inside, of course, has the window screen over the drainage holes. So now it's time to sort out my soil mixture of soil, peat moss, compost, and some other things, and then start planting once the weather warms up. So I'll show you the sayings now. Real food, real good. Mulch, then munch. And over here I've got good soil, good seed, good rewards, and produce great produce. So there you go. There are my boxes. Alright, so there the boxes are. They're in position at the end of my walk in the back here, and I'm going to plant today, and this is what it looks like. So I think they look pretty good, and I will do a follow-up video in the fall and see how the harvest went, see how they produced. So I guess that's it for now. So thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a comment if you want, and hit the like button. Appreciate that too. Have yourself a great day. Bye.